It's 4 a.m. I'm in the middle of the sea in Scotland, approaching one of the most dangerous headlands in the British Isles. I've been on the water for 5 hours already on my stand-up paddleboard, which is basically a glorified surfboard. But all I have to navigate with is a GPS watch and a lighthouse on this point, which is flashing every 30 seconds. Apart from that, it's pitch black. I have a really, really narrow window of time to get round this point before danger hits. The body of water that I'm also paddling through just so happens to be a military firing range. But why am I here? I'm attempting to paddle the entire length of the United Kingdom to talk to people about plastic pollution. It's never been done before. Rewind 2 years, and I was just setting off, 2016, I was just setting off from Wembury on a trip around the whole of the Cornish coast to North Devon. I'd expected flat, calm seas, I'd expected dolphins, sunshine, I was going to get a tan. The reality was, for 3 weeks, I was faced with head-high waves, gale-force winds, and I was chased by angry seals. I'd moved to Plymouth in 2014, and I'd taken up stand-up paddleboarding and really rekindled my love and respect for the oceans. But every time I came in from a surf or a stand-up paddleboarding session, I was finding plastic on the beaches, and I was absolutely horrified by it and needed to do something about it. And so my expedition around the Cornish coast was used to talk to people about plastic and to bring positive solutions to this issue. I know a lot of you, like me, will care really deeply about the environment and about all the crises that we see every day in the news that it's facing. Biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse, plastic pollution, climate change. It can feel incredibly overwhelming. What on earth can we as individuals do about these issues? How can we have the power to do anything as one person? One of my favourite quotes is by a very inspirational lady called Jane Goodall. Jane believes, "I like to envision the whole world as a jigsaw puzzle. If you look at the whole picture, it is overwhelming and terrifying. But if you work on your little part of the jigsaw and know that people all over the world are working on their little bits, that's what will give you hope." There's another really important reason for us to want to protect our natural world. Being outside, being in nature is absolutely crucial for our well-being as humans. Having spent hours and hours out to sea on my paddleboard, I've come to realise how much noise there is in our general society and how important it is to take time back in nature to protect against that and to find peace amongst our busy societies. Another one of my favourite quotes is from a chap called John Muir. He says, "Thousands of tired, nerve-shaken, over-civilised people are beginning to find out that going to the mountains is going home, that wildness is a necessity." You may find over the next few years after graduating that life can get pretty hectic, pretty hard going and stressful sometimes. Always make sure that you take time for yourselves. And if you haven't tried it yet, try getting outside into nature and just seeing how it balances the scales for you. I'd just like to try something with you all, if it's okay. I'd like you all to close your eyes, please. And I can see you, so no peeking. All close your eyes. There are a few at the front row. Come on, eyes closed. Okay. I want you to think about the first place in the outdoors, the first piece of nature that springs to mind, that's personal to you, that means something to you, where you feel peaceful. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What can you hear? What can you see? What colours are there? How does it feel to be here? Do you feel peaceful? Okay, open your eyes. I saw quite a few smiling faces. Has that helped you switch off? Does that make you feel a little bit more peaceful? That's just thinking about it. Imagine how powerful that could be if we could go out and spend more time in these places that you've just thought about actually in person. And then what would you be willing to do to protect those places? I am no different to any of you. I have worries, I have anxieties, I have fears, I have a lot of doubts about myself. I'm no superwoman. I do what I feel I need to do to protect the place I love. If you'd have told me half the situations I would come up against in my stand-up paddleboarding expeditions, alone at sea with no phone signal, hungry, exhausted, with nobody to talk to, nobody to bounce ideas off, to help me make decisions, I would have told you I couldn't do it. I'd have told you I didn't have the strength, didn't have the capability, I didn't have the ability to make those decisions on my own out at sea. And I would have never set off from shore. Yet when faced with those challenges, and out there, faced with those challenges, I found a reserve of strength inside me that I didn't even know was there. And I want you all to know that you have those reserves of strength inside you too. You have those powers as well. Equally, if you'd have told me 3 years ago when setting off from Wembury that I would be standing here today receiving this incredible honour, I probably wouldn't have believed you either. This really is an incredible honour for me, so thank you so much, and thank you for having me here today to celebrate with you guys. A huge congratulations to each and every one of you graduating today. Never forget your own strength. Never think you're not capable of creating a life that's meaningful to you, of achieving things that you thought were beyond your capability, of creating positive change and protecting what you love with your own strengths, your own abilities, your own loves, whatever they mean to you. I studied veterinary medicine at uni, and my current career trajectory is somewhat different from my original degree. Your degrees here, they don't pigeonhole you into a certain career or direction. They're your springboard to go and do whatever you want to do, to find a meaningful career, something that speaks to you. In a world which is rapidly changing, please remember that you have the ability to affect change in a positive way. You have the ability to create that path. I look forward to hearing about all the amazing things you go on to achieve, and I really hope that a big part of that is, against all odds, looking after your well-being and looking after the planet that protects you. Thank you.